Hello, it's Angus here at the Bureau of Meteorology with your Thursday update on severe tropical cyclone Alfred, which is still sitting in the Coral Sea, but we are starting to get a little bit more confidence, a little bit more certainty about the likely path that Alfred will take this week and this weekend, and even out into early next week as well. So let's get into it, of course, starting with the satellite imagery to show us where Alfred is now, and it's pretty clear where Alfred is now. And there are a few clues on the satellite showing us that Alfred is strengthening as a system. Firstly, the symmetry that we see, that full 360-degree rotation around the center, is a sign of a strong system. We also have some bands in the high clouds starting to form around the edges, these outflow bands also showing us development. But thirdly, and probably most significantly, as you get to the end of the loop just in here, Alfred is starting to try to develop an eye, and we only really see an eye in the middle of a tropical cyclone when it is severe Category 3 or stronger. So this is where Alfred is located at the moment, about 800 kilometres northeast of Mackay, but the all-important question is, where is it likely to move in the coming days? So I'm going to put on the most recent forecast track, which has been issued at 11 a.m. Queensland time on Thursday morning, showing us it's going to continue to move south through Thursday. There's a couple of changes to this track compared to the tracks from yesterday, and that's the first one there, the Category 4 symbol that we see on Friday afternoon, as we expect Alfred to intensify during Friday even further. However, as Alfred continues to move southwards, it's likely to move into an area of slightly cooler ocean temperatures down here, which means the intensification will probably stop, and potentially it will even go back to a Category 3 tropical cyclone by Saturday morning. At this point, we then expect two deviations from that almost straight southerly track that it's been taking. The first of which will occur on Saturday, and that's going to be a tail in towards the southeast Queensland coast, just shifting from its track a little bit here, getting a bit closer. Still not reaching the coast, but certainly getting closer as a Category 3 system. This is going to mean an increase in wind and swell across eastern parts of Queensland. We've got a number of marine wind warnings already in place from Townsville down to Gowrie, and these warnings could well be extended down to the southeast in the next day or two as well. And really, one of the most significant impacts of this turn towards the coast is going to be an increase in the swell. So I've highlighted just the swell over the coastal waters of Queensland here. And as we track Tropical Cyclone Alfred moving southwards and towards the coast, let's watch out for some stronger swell signals coming through, particularly around Gowrie and the Capricornia coast. When it gets closer, there it is, 4 to 5 metre waves are possible over some of these coastal waters. If we see these large waves coincide with high tide during the weekend, it could cause inundation of low-lying coastal areas in through here, and potentially some damage or erosion across exposed coastal locations as well. There are hazardous surf warnings in place for the Gowrie coast and the Capricornia coast, and new surf warnings may be issued for other parts of the southern or southeastern Queensland coast in the coming days. Now we're going to finish off with the second of those two movements that I talked about. The first being a duck towards the coast during the weekend, the second being a movement away from the coast during Sunday and early next week. Likely to see Tropical Cyclone Alfred go down to a Category 2 system either on Sunday or Monday, and then start a bit of a southeastward trajectory away from the country, causing its influence over our weather to slacken. This doesn't mean we're quite out of the woods yet. There is a chance that Tropical Cyclone Alfred could just hang out over the Tasman Sea for a few days in a row, and then may get blown back towards the country if an easterly wind picks up. However, if that occurs, it's likely that Tropical Cyclone Alfred would be a Category 1 or potentially a tropical low, no longer being tropical cyclone status. So there's still a lot to go with this system. It's got a long life ahead of it, hopefully staying away from the country, but it always pays to be up to date with the latest forecast and track information, which of course you can find on the Bureau's website. Thanks very much for watching.